Before Halloween was haunted houses and high-tech props, it was paper pumpkins, tinsel garlands, and the simple kind of magic you made at home. Somewhere between the candy bowls and the coffee cups, that old-fashioned wonder still lingers, waiting to be found. Welcome to my retro kitchen, where the ghosts are always friendly and nostalgia is everywhere you look.
Hi, welcome. I am here in the kitchen. It is completely empty, well, except for these cutting boards that kind of stay all the time. We're doing Halloween in the kitchen, and let me show you the inspiration. Isn't this the cutest little tea towel you've ever seen? Hold on, let me show you closer. A little vintage, a little fun. This is from Anthropologie. We have a lot of vintage items, not actual vintage, but replica vintage kind of cutesy Halloween, which I've been inspired to do because of my niece, and she's 3. She's not scared by scary Halloween things. Usually it's kind of hard to predict because she's 3. Like my brother put up some zombies and she named them Dancer and Johnny, and ghosts, and she loves the bats. You guys saw her helping me hang the bats in the living room video, which if you missed it, I'm going to put the link, down there. This isn't traditionally my workspace, and Tracy is very kind to let me in here and to decorate it. And then actually we have an agreement because she loves Halloween too so much. And so I'm going to put my spin on the vintage stuff, and then I'm going to take it all down right away. And then she's going to put up Halloween in her style. And that's what you'll see in the home tour, the Twilight evening home tour towards the end of the month. So be sure to check that out. But anyway, we have a lot to do. Oh, we're also doing the coffee and tea station back in the butler's pantry. So yeah, let's do it.
I wanted to start by hanging this at front and center. It's my touch point for the design, and yeah, I just thought it looked cute there. First, I wanted to talk about approaching a design space that you're not really comfortable in. So this is, well, it's a tablescape. It's basically my version of a breakfast corner or something very informal in the kitchen, eating in the kitchen. If you're not new here, you know that I'm very comfortable with tablescapes. As my brain was sort of noodling in the background about what I was going to do in the rest of the space, I wanted to get my decorating muscles warmed up, so to speak, by doing something that was a little bit easier and a little bit familiar. Of course, it wasn't too long before I figured something that wasn't working, so I didn't know where to put these napkins. I didn't want to cover up the cuteness of the plates, but I wanted the cute little spider on the napkin to be visualized. So how am I going to do that? All of a sudden, I was like, why don't I just put the napkin under the salad plate, but stretch the napkin out so you can see the little rickrack stitching, or zigzag, whatever you call it, zigzag stitching of his little web as he comes down, and then you can see both, and it worked out really great, and I'm really happy with how this turned out. So breakfast in the kitchen, eating in the kitchen, and there's my little companion from last year. Most of the things on this table I sourced from Home Goods this year. They really knocked it out of the park with the vintage stuff, and the florals are from Michael's. This is one of the coolest things, and I don't know why the camera won't focus on the witches, but there you had briefly focus on the witches. We found this in a little gift shop that we frequented when we lived in the Central Valley. So I wanted to build this little vignette around the witches. And that's how I am going to structure my thinking around just like decorating the space. I have 4 corners. I need to preserve some workspace, but each corner is a little vignette. So that was the witches vignette. This is, I don't know, another retro vignette. We have so much retro stuff. I was just trying to pull together things that made sense and had height variation because you need that in design. That was kind of my approach to things. And yeah, I just looked around and grabbed something that worked. This space wasn't working until I had something that was 3-dimensional and a little bit taller. So I grabbed these things, but I needed that one element that was just a little bit taller, and I found it, and that made the whole thing kind of come together. I'm curious if you prefer decorating for Halloween or Christmas and why. I think I like decorating for Halloween more because I don't know, I feel like there's less pressure. I don't know if that's the right word, but there's a lot of expectations around Christmas. I feel, not by anybody else, but just from myself. I mean, I put a lot of expectations on myself. I don't want to disappoint anybody. We have traditions, we have events, all these things that we have accumulated through our lifetime. And I think Halloween is just more fun, because you can basically do whatever you want and it's all fine. It is all fine. You can go all out. You can do one room, you can do a corner, you can do a porch. You can spend a lot of money. You can buy cardboard decorations and use Scotch tape, which would I'll be doing that later in this video. It is all available to everybody, and it's just all in good fun, and I think that's why I really love Halloween so much. I knew I wanted to do something very special with this corner. This is the view that Tracy has most nights when she's working in the kitchen. She has a lot of pieces that she's collected over the years. Most of them are gifts from her parents. They're all vintage cats or vintage inspired. They're not actually vintage, but they're vintage inspired cats. And the TV is there, as you can see it. And this is her happy place. And so I really wanted to pull in the things that she loved the most, that she would love looking at every day. Trays have a special kind of visual magic that they can take a lot of little things that would normally look cluttered, and because you put them on a tray, our brains reinterpret that as like less things. So I'm going to hack it, and I'm going to put all these little things on this tray, and my visual height is this really cool candelabra with the flickering lights, and just enjoying the retro vibes of this space now. All right, on to the stove and hood area. This was the area I was most nervous about, so I kind of saved it to last. I mean, I still have the coffee and tea station, which I'm more comfortable with, but I mean, in the kitchen itself, I was nervous about this area. So I started with this vintage piece, and then I found this garland that Tracy had interwoven some lights into, and I'm like, well, that would be really cute to sort of hang and drape around the hood, right? I mean, that's safe, isn't it? I don't know. I'm not a chef or a cook or anything. So I thought it was safe. It's been vetoed and taken down, but this was my original plan. That's okay. We can pivot. It's fine. Above the garland, I hung a really cute, kitschy wreath that we had from years past. I tried to video it. I don't know what happened to that footage. I don't know. Maybe I didn't hit record or something. Anyway, I need a production assistant. Clearly, it's going to be in the final look. So be sure to check that out in the end of the video. And this vignette kind of brings me to another reason that I love Halloween. It's the beginning of the season of looking up. Looking up at lights, looking up at things hanging, looking up. And I love that. And that's one of the things that I really get a lot of inspiration of when I go to theme parks like Disneyland, because they're always at least for me, always drawing my eye up, look up at the lights, at what's hanging out above the storefront, above Main Street. So I love using all dimensions, and looking up is the beginning of this, and it can be creepy, it could be cute, it could be whatever you want because it's Halloween. I think we found these at a Spirit or something one time, and they only had like 2 left. It was like during the clearance time, but you know me and hanging things, and I think these look really cool in here. Moving on to the coffee and tea station. This is where we're starting. And I'm going to leave the mail slot, obviously, and the tea kettle, coffee pot, the coffee pods. But I wanted to add and replace some of the art. So this vintage washboard I'm going to put actually by the washing machine, the washer and the dryer, which makes more sense. And then I'm going to start really going all out, starting with how we hang things. If you were born in, before 1990 something, or maybe even during then, I don't know, you probably hung Halloween decorations with Scotch tape. So I'm doing that. These cardboard cutout things are from Amazon. These I remember, I mean, not these, but something similar I remember decorating with when I was really little. And these are just bringing back all of the memories and all of the nostalgia. And good job, whoever made these. They're on Amazon. And for this kitschy vibe we're going for, more is more. Like if less is more, just think of how much more would be. Of course, we have a ton of Halloween mugs, so I need more space to show the Halloween mugs. This year, Halloween is on a Friday, and we will be hosting guests for the weekend. We're going to need all the mugs. We're going to need all the space. And so I'm really glad that I have this tiered tray thing. I don't know. It's from the bee collection, honeycomb collection from Williams Sonoma. Obviously, it's not spring, so I need to hide the bees that are on the marble. And so what did I get? Of course, my beloved cheesecloth that adds the creepy factor. It takes away the spring factor, and great, I can use it all year round. Now to the other corner of this very small space, I am sticking with the tall, skinny vase that I used for the autumn decorate with me. And I had reserved some autumn florals to use during Halloween because it's, still autumn. These lighted branches are going to be great. They have different light settings. This is the brightest. I turned it down since doing this, but then I had a bunch of these other picks that are really cute. They have like ghosts and candy corns in them, and just I took all the picks and I shoved them in there, and it really worked. I put both these lighted branches and the jack-o'-lantern blow mold on a timer just to come on in the evenings. I don't have to mess with it, but also in the mornings, because when I go to work, when I'm on call, I get up at 3:30, 3:40 in the morning and it's dark. And I love having these lights on instead of like the big overhead light. It's just a nice, softer way to wake up when it's basically the middle of the night still. All right. I want to know how many of you have decorated with one of these bendy skeleton guys in your lifetime. The ones that have the arms attached with grommets and stuff. I remember this from when I was a kid. So leave a comment if you're still here hanging out with me in this video with a little skeleton and if you've ever decorated with him. I love him so much, and I will probably always use one. You are officially a closer on this channel, and I want to thank you for spending your time with me. I don't take time for granted. My own, someone else's, especially yours, because you have spent it here with me. They're minutes you can't get back, and that's an important thing to recognize, so thank you. I have so much more to come, not just for Halloween, but for Christmas. I'm already thinking ahead. I know this content is a little late for Halloween stuff. I just got so behind in work and everything sort of just piled up at the end. So I'm getting it out. And you know what? It's okay. Hopefully you're still into the Halloween vibes. I have more coming. We're going to do dining room. We're going to do the Twilight tour. Here's a full playlist. I would love it if you would binge watch, and I will see you real soon in the next one.